News JAX at 5 begins with breaking news.
The state attorney's office, the undersheriff, and a private attorney are all speaking out about this newly released video. It shows several officers handling a woman at the Duval County Jail. This is the same woman seen on this video being punched by a former JSO officer in the jail intake area earlier that same day. And now, for the first time, we're hearing what that former officer had to say about the attack moments after he was taken into custody.
And did you strike her?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you strike her with an open hand or a closed fist?
Closed fist.
That officer was fired. And now, two major developments in a story we've been following since April.
We are seeing this new video just one day after the state attorney's office said it didn't have enough evidence to pursue felony charges against the officer. We have team coverage. The state attorney's office and the undersheriff just released brand new statements, but we start with Action News JAX' Larry Spruill live outside JSO headquarters.
Letitia, this is part of the statement released from the state attorney's office yesterday. It goes into full detail about what happened that day. It also discusses Martinez's criminal history. I spoke to her attorney today. He says he does not understand the statement and that his client is the victim. This is new video released to Action News JAX of what happened inside a JSO holding cell. A disposition statement released by the state attorney's office states a female officer was frisking Mayra Martinez, asking her to remove her belly button ring. The statement claims Martinez started acting frantically and cussing, pulling her shirt down. That's when the female officer attempted to restrain her. Seconds later, three other officers walked in, one also trying to restrain her. But take a look at this. Minutes after the altercation, you see this officer holding up and waving what appears to be Martinez's underwear. I showed former JSO officer and Action News JAX crime and safety expert Ken Jefferson this video.
Why the correction officer, after it was all over, held her underwear up as for us to display it, I can't explain that. That seemed to be totally unnecessary.
She is the victim in that case. That's extremely significant.
That's what Martinez attorney John Phillips said in a news conference Thursday afternoon. He says this video happened after the incident inside the JSO Sallyport, where former officer Akinyeme Borisade attacked Martinez after she kicked him. But Thursday, the state attorney's office says they will not be charging Borisade with felony charges. Phillips says he's pursuing other options.
We are asking for a special prosecutor to take over this case.
And I got my hands on the police interview with Borisade. He says that in that interview that Martinez provoked him, but he is sorry that this whole entire thing happened. I'm going through that interview right now. I have that story coming up tonight at 6. Reporting live at downtown JSO, I'm Larry Spruill, CBS 47, Action News JAX.
And less than an hour ago, the state attorney's office came out to defend its decision not to press felony battery charges against Officer Borisade. Team coverage continues with Action News JAX' Michael Yoshida. And Michael, they will move forward with misdemeanor charges.
John, they will, and it was just a little over half an hour ago when Assistant State Attorney Rich Manti defended his office's decision to not pursue those felony charges. Now, he was very straightforward as he spoke about that decision to not pursue those against former JSO officer Borisade. Now, this news conference came after the lawyer for the woman who was beaten by the former officer while handcuffed held his own news conference this afternoon, during which he released new video of the incidents in question. Now, the woman, Mayra Martinez, was arrested in April on suspicion of trespassing and violently resisting that officer. This afternoon, Manti spoke and said his office simply did not have enough evidence to support upgrading their charge against Borisade from misdemeanor to felony battery.
I've got to prove who did it and exactly when. It's not enough to simply say, well, it must have occurred sometime while she was in the custody of the sheriff's office. That's fine for a civil case because you're suing the whole office. I'm prosecuting an individual, and that's a very different standard.
And coming up at 6 on Action News JAX, Manti's response to claims that his office is too close to the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, as well as calls for a special prosecutor to be brought into this case. That all new at 6. Reporting live downtown, Michael Yoshida, CBS 47, Action News JAX.
Undersheriff Pat Ivey released a statement in response to the release of that jailhouse video by Martinez's attorney. He says video was exempt from public records laws and police could not release it. He goes on to say that the JSO investigation has also looked at the remainder of the booking process, and no criminal wrongdoing by any employee has been found to have occurred. Currently, the administrative investigation is underway, which focuses on any policy violations. When that portion is completed, the full findings of our internal investigation will be released.
Justin, a local man